Welcome to cinpro, where we bring your favorite movies back to life with quick recaps, hidden details, and everything you missed. The movie begins with Freddy practicing what he will say to the girl. He's waiting for someone from dating app. When she arrives, he accidentally drops a cup, apologizes to her, and gives her flowers. When she asks how long he's been on the app, he says 5 years. She's surprised it's been that long and wonders how he hasn't found someone suitable yet. She doesn't like it and excuses herself, saying she has a meeting, and leaves. When he sits with his pet turtle, his aunt calls to check if he has eaten and advises him to stop drawing on airplanes and get some sleep. After hanging up, he ignores her advice and continues drawing on the airplane. The next morning, he goes to his job as a dentist and is very kind to the children. He receives a call from an unknown number, and it turns out to be another woman who saw him on the app. He asks her to meet, and again, he practices what to say. The cafe staff recognize him because he's been doing the same routine for 3 years, failing each time, and people mock him when the girl doesn't show up. Annoyed, he leaves for home, feeling upset. At a wedding with his aunt, she tells him that even younger people are getting married, and he needs to marry soon before she dies. She adds, "Talk to those beautiful girls over there." She insists, saying he was shy as a child, and she thought he'd grow confident with age, but that didn't happen. Despite him being a successful dentist, Freddy notices a girl in blue looking at him and smiling as if she knows him. Surprised, he tells his aunt he doesn't know her. She encourages him to talk to her. He approaches her and asks if she was looking at him or knows him. She denies it, saying she didn't look at him. He insists, saying he was sitting over there with his aunt. Her husband arrives and asks what's going on. She says nothing, but the husband confronts Freddy, asking why he's talking to his wife. Freddy apologizes, saying he didn't mean to. The husband accuses her of flirting with other men, and Freddy tries to explain but gets shoved to the ground. The husband drags his wife away. Freddy returns to his aunt, bruised, and accuses her of lying to him. She pretends not to understand. That night, he dreams about the girl he saw. The next day at work, he's shocked to find her at his clinic. She introduces herself as Kainas and says her friend recommended him as a good dentist. She needs her wisdom tooth removed. He asks her to sit and sterilizes his hands. She apologizes for her husband's behavior the previous night, saying he can be a bit much. Freddy reassures her it's okay and begins examining her. He requests an X-ray to prepare for the extraction the next day. He asks the nurse to guide her to the radiology department. She thanks him and leaves with a smile. Freddy imagines marrying her and having kids with her. Before the extraction, she asks if it will hurt. He assures her she will be under general anesthesia and won't feel a thing. The anesthesiologist sedates her. As soon as she leaves, Freddy whispers, "I love you," and starts the procedure. After finishing, he sits with her to check for allergies before prescribing medication. She mentions she's allergic to dish soap. He writes her a prescription, thanks her, and schedules a follow-up for the next day. He offers to drive her home, but she declines, saying her friend will pick her up. Freddy notes her address from the medical form. Later, at her home, her husband asks where she was. She replies, "At the dentist." He complains about being hungry and demands dinner, saying she knows he eats at 7:30. She apologizes, saying she didn't have time to prepare. He grabs her by the hair, asking if he should cook for her. He hits her. Freddy, watching from outside her house, sees her being abused. He considers confronting the husband but hesitates and retreats to his car. At work, he waits for her follow-up, but she doesn't show up. He calls to check on her, asking if she's okay. She says she can't come. He insists the checkup is important and offers to visit her at home, but she refuses, saying her husband wouldn't like it. He suggests meeting somewhere nearby, even for 5 minutes, to prevent infection. She agrees. Freddy leaves the clinic, ignoring the waiting patients, and meets her. Seeing her crying, he asks if her husband hit her. She doesn't answer. He tells her not to cry and buys her ice cream. She thanks him. When he asks why her husband hit her, she says it's because he doesn't want her going out. Freddy learns her husband owns a big restaurant and says he used to buy food from there but will stop now. She reminds him he forgot to examine her tooth. He says he already did, explaining that if it wasn't healed, she wouldn't be able to eat the ice cream. She thanks him again and leaves. Freddy buys new clothes, tries on thousands of shoes, and gets a haircut. He goes back to her house to watch her from afar. Her husband leaves, and Freddy calls to check on her, asking if she had dinner. She replies, "Yes." Freddy apologizes, saying he won't call again. She says it's nice of him to call, but asks him not to at night since her husband is home. Freddy asks if they can meet because he has something that will make her very happy. She agrees. They meet at a new cafe, and he gives her a book. feeling delighted. Later, he tells his aunt about her, saying she's beautiful and he wants to marry her. When her husband travels, they meet more often. At the cinema, Freddy tries to get closer to her, but she gets upset and distances herself. She stops answering his calls. Freddy goes to her house and finds her beaten again. She collapses into his arms, telling him to leave before her husband returns and kills him. Freddy proposes to her, asking if she loves him. She says she would have agreed if she weren't married. Freddy doesn't know what to do. She cries, and he tries to comfort her. Later, his aunt asks when he'll marry her. Freddy tells her next month. He calls Kainaz, asking her to meet him in the garden in 30 minutes, saying he has a solution for them to be together. They need to get rid of her husband. She asks what he means. She accuses him of going crazy, and she refuses. He told her, "Okay, go away and let him hit you, if this is the lifestyle you need." She tells him, "I'm afraid," and he reassures her that everything will be fine. He hugs her and warns her that there will be no calls, messages, or meetings between them for a week. After the week, he takes the key to his car while we wait for him to leave the house. They knock on his car, and when he still has nothing to do, cancels his clinic appointments and travels to their country for a week. He was so happy, and he goes to the mechanic and tells him that a dog knocked down his car and he leaves it for a day to get it repaired, and he goes back to his normal job. At the police station, as they investigate, they say that the accident happened on a deserted street in the middle of the rain, and no one saw the car that hit him, and that her husband had enemies. He takes his car after it has been repaired and goes to her, and he is feeling anxious and full of feelings, so he meets her with all love. But he goes to her and finds a man who is the one who opens up to him, and she says to him, "Who is it?" He said to her, "I tried to talk to you." She said to him, "I don't want to talk to you." She walked, and her friend hugged her. So he asks what is happening. "You are not the chef that was in the restaurant." So he tells him to go away, and she threatens him that if he comes again, she will tell the police that he is the one who killed her husband, and she is being pampered by a lonely and miserable dentist who fell in love with a patient of his who is married and continues to chase her. And every night he watches her from his car, and they show the pictures. His wife, and that he calls her a lot. And when she ignored him, he killed her husband because she wanted her to fall in love. And her boyfriend hits him. They fall in love. And she says to him, "You were imagining falling in love with someone like you. When you were getting close to me, take his book." He remembers her words, and then collapses and continues to cry and be depressed. She agrees with her boyfriend that they will renovate the restaurant and change its name, and his turtle will remain what is left of him, and he burns all the clothes he bought for her, even the clothes she is wearing. She holds the restaurant and gives the workers orders and is happy with what she has received. Suppose he returns to his job again, and when he goes to his aunt, he hugs her. She asks him, "Why did she leave you?" He tells her, "I don't know," and cries, and going to a restaurant, and she and her friends see him, and he asks for a drink, and when he finishes it, he asks for a second one and gets close to her to annoy him, and he starts crying, and when he asks for a second drink, her friend takes it and spits in it with his hand in it, and when he drinks it, they are surprised at him, and he shouts for him to leave, and she asks him, "What do you want?" And he said to her, "I want you to apologize to me," so they hit hardly. Her friend showed him the picture when he kept waiting for her at her house with evidence of their messages and photos. Freddy decides to gather information about them, including photos, allergies, car numbers, and more. He begins to monitor them closely. When they go out, Freddy sneaks into their house. He puts sleeping pills in their food. When they arrive, he quickly hides, and the owner is surprised that the snack bag was open, so he closes it. Freddy hides and prepares the food, then calls them to eat, adding more sleeping pills. He leaves, and they mock him while he's outside listening. At night, while they're sleeping, he enters their room and sees her face full of allergies. He takes her phone and unlocks it using her eye scan while wearing gloves. He sends a specific message, then goes to her partner and slaps him hard on the face. He checks the threatening pictures on his phone, deletes them, and returns the phone. He takes their car keys, does something to the car, returns the keys, and slaps him again. He then goes to sleep among them. She wakes up scratching, looks in the mirror, and screams. She searches for the anti-allergy medicine but doesn't find it. She tells him they must go to the hospital. He drives her in the car, eating, and tells his turtle, "I love you." She tells him to speed up, but suddenly they discover the brakes aren't working. The car crashes into barrels. She fights with him because he couldn't stop the car and almost killed her. She starts to despise him. When they return, she tells him the mechanic said the brake fluid was empty. He hears her frustration but continues eating. She tells him the food authority is shutting down their restaurant because a customer found a lizard in their food, took a picture, and posted it in reviews. They rush to the restaurant and he sees them from his car. He goes back home, opens the laptop, and accesses her partner's account. He does something and leaves while she argues with the restaurant manager, who informs her the restaurant will remain closed until the investigation concludes. Suddenly, she finds a picture of her and her partner posted on his Facebook. She confronts him, but he denies posting anything. She starts connecting the events, like the allergy, the accident, and the pictures, and asks the restaurant manager if the person who found the lizard in the food was the same man. The staff confirms it was likely him, wearing a black cap. She tells her partner she's sure it's him and vows to kill him. Her mother calls, scolding her about the scandal, reminding her it's been less than 10 days since her husband's death. She hangs up angrily, complains to her father, and goes to Freddy's house. Freddy tells her he's been expecting her to come and apologize. Her partner beats him severely. She locks the door and vents her anger, saying, "I warned you to stay away." As they argue, the doorbell rings. She sees it's the police and decides to tell them the truth. When the officer enters and sees Freddy, he asks her, "Aren't you the wife of the murdered man?" She replies, "Yes, and this is the man who killed my husband." The officer is shocked. "Doctor, Freddy? How?" She explains, "Ask him. He told me he loved me and used to watch my house all night, following me in the morning. When I rejected him, he killed my husband and threatened to kill me if I told anyone. He came to my house, put dish soap in my face wash knowing I have allergies, stole my anti-allergy medicine, tampered with my car brakes, caused an accident, hacked my social media to insult me, and planted a lizard in our food to shut down our restaurant. I have proof, including a message he sent me." Suddenly, they can't find any evidence. The officer asks, "Did he sneak in while you were sleeping and delete the photos and messages?" She confirms, "Exactly." The officer responds, "He's a respected doctor in the community." Freddy pretends to be innocent, and the officer advises him to file an official complaint if he's harassed again. Freddy thanks the police as they leave. She tells her partner they need to take revenge. He warns her that if anything happens, the police will suspect them. She sarcastically suggests apologizing to Freddy, questioning his bravery. We return to Freddy's house, where he finds a bullet on the ground and his belongings smashed. Freddy calls her, saying, "I got your message. The bullet your partner left at my door." She denies it, and he replies, "Really? Just like I didn't leave a snake in your house." She panics as they search for the snake, eventually finding it was just her husband's belt. She insists she can't stay in the house until they find the snake, so they move to a hotel. Her partner tries to convince her there's no snake and that Freddy is messing with them. She mentions the bullet incident and he tells her to call Freddy. When she calls, Freddy tells her, "Did you find the snake?" She tells him no. "We found a turtle." He gets nervous and calls for the turtle that he can't find. He sees the cameras that they took it out. He keeps crying at it, pampering it and burying it in its needles. He calls a worker in the country and tells him to clean the apartment for me so I will bring my friends and when it's done, take it for you. He takes a week off and goes to one of the homeless people on the street where her husband was killed, and she gives him money. She installs cameras in the house, and her owner reassures her that they are safe. The homeless man goes to the station and witnesses the hospital where her husband was killed. He tells them an Arabic number and that he feels guilty because he did not confess what he saw in the military. He says, "This is Dr. Freddy's car number." When they go to his clinic, they ask you where you are on August 9th. He told them at home, and he knew that you meant the day of the crime. They said, "We have a witness who saw the numbers in his car." He told them, "It is really my car, but there is no one other than the one who was riding in it." And when they ask him, "Who?" he was acting like he was afraid, so he wouldn't talk to her. He told them that she called me the other day and told me that the car was broken and she needed my car. People asked her for the keys in the car, and its owner, Raymond, took the car and returned it after about an hour. At that time, she saw blood on the car, and when she heard about the case of her husband's murder, she knew they were behind it. All this, so I called her and told her that I would call the police. So she sent me this message and threatened me that she would kill me and bring me home. "They beat me when you came 2 days ago and stole my turtle and killed it." He left a bullet on the door of the apartment and showed them the video. The officer asked him to send them the video and the message, and that they would investigate the matter and thank him and walk away. He informs the secretary that she is closing the clinic for 4 days because he is going to leave for work in a hurry, and the assistant inspector calls the hospital and tells her that she and her friend will come because there is a simple investigation that they will do. At that time, her friend gets scared and she closes with them, so he calls her alone and says to her, "I told them that you were behind killing your husband, and you had my car with you." The police said, "Why would they believe you?" He said to her, "I had strong evidence when you warned that Raymond took my car." She told him, "I did not send messages." he told her. Indeed, I sent them to myself from a phone and I will download a video for your friend. Look at this video and he is seeing this. He places a bullet in front of my apartment, and the law says he will be imprisoned for at least 14 years. They asked him, "What are your requests?" He told him, "She apologizes to me, and we will settle the matter instead of sending the video to the police." She agrees. So he tells them to meet him at his farm and that he will send them the location, and she will bring a large bag with her because he needs to pick up things for his mother from the farm and for myself. He gets his bag and travels to the country, and they agree that when they go to him, they will find him there, and they notice that the place is deserted. He says to her, "I am here, and we will kill him." They reach him, and he enters them and asks them to drink something. She says alcohol, and he pulls out the gun in front of him. She says to him, "Freddy, let's finish the matter." He tells her, it was no use. She suddenly pulls out the gun and confronts him. She says to him, "Give me your phone." She takes it and says to him, "Who will apologize now?" He said to them, "I'm sorry," and he begged her not to kill him. So she told him, "I won't kill you. I will let you be the one to kill yourself." She discovers that the gun is empty. He smiles. Then Raymond attacks him, and an electric comes out for him with a stun gun. There is electricity, and he knocks it down, and she also was able to electrify her. The police finds their phones turned off, so they decided going home, and they wake with their mouths remains open with an iron. He sits down and tells them, "In the past, there was no anesthesia for those who extract their teeth, but they had a will. You played a game with me, don't believe me. You made me believe that we have a level future and you let us kill your husband and leave me. After that, it was as if I was using a used needle. I was a normal patient, but you chose the wrong doctor and did not speak up until now. You mocked me and insulted me. All I asked for was an apology. Then I killed the turtle. I wonder if you cut it off while it was alive." He asked her, "What do you need to talk about?" and removed the tool. She said to him, "Raymond is the one who killed her." He screamed, "I didn't do anything." And she continued, "I know that you still love me. Let's start over." And she begs him. He said to her, "Indeed, you deserve a chance." And when the police go to their house, they find that they are not there. He said to her, "You told me before that you were playing music. Take it off and remove her hands. Come on, play and I'll let you walk." And when she grabs her, he tells her, "You're doing it wrong. So what?" She doesn't know how to play, so he discovers that this is a new lie. So he takes the instrument from her and tells her to go back and holds her again. He discovers that her friend pees on himself and tells him, "I don't want you to think. In pain, thought about anything else. Think about turtles, for example." He pulls out his teeth and drag him and throws him in a hole. The police watch a video of them walking from their house with a big bag, so they think it's the bag of their clothes and that they run away. She begs him to leave her, and he doesn't hear her words, and without anesthesia, he pulls all of her teeth. Like her owner, he takes her out and puts her in the hole and says to her, "I still love you." He buries them alive like they did to his turtle, and he sleeps on top of them, happy with his revenge. The movie ends like this. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos.